Welcome to version 4.0 of iOC, a digital orthodontic impression system powered by iTero. iOC ensures a more accurate impression from the start, which results in improved orthodontic treatment. The iOC scanner captures the contours of the dentition, the gingival structures, and the bite, providing an accurate digital orthodontic scan in just minutes, without the use of powder. Version 4.0 of iOC features an entirely new simplified graphic interface and a number of exciting new tools and features. In addition, iOC 4.0 enables you to create scans to provide your patients with Invisalign treatment. This training video will assist the orthodontic staff in becoming familiar with the iOC scanning process. It can serve as an introduction for those new to the iOC, as well as a refresher on the updated aspects of operation for more experienced users.
Hi, I'm Mike Sabina, Director of Technology Services with Cadent, and I'm going to walk you through iOC version 4.0. To begin, I'm going to double-click on the iOC icon. As iOC opens, you'll notice there's a new login system. To begin, I'll enter my Cadent email and password. Once I've entered my Cadent email and password, I'm going to press Sign In.
iOC 4.0 has simplified graphic on-screen controls that make it easy to manage the scanning process and review treatment information. Let's review the user interface controls for iOC version 4.0. We'll begin with the treatment information, where the case details are entered and reviewed. The Scan button is used to pause or resume scanning. The View button is used for case review and analysis. The Send button enables the scan to be processed by Cadent or Invisalign. Menu button, Save button, Settings, where scanning and user preferences are stored, Help menu. In the View tool, there is an option to rescan specific areas as needed. There is an option to add scans or continue scanning beginning from the last segment. The Eraser tool. Edge trim for removing unwanted soft tissue. Hide or show the lower jaw. Hide or show the upper jaw. Add a grid to the display. Point-to-point measurements. Scan browser for reviewing individual scans with color. The lower left panel includes the Rotate button. Left-click and hold to rotate the model. Pan button. Left-click and hold to drag the model across the screen. Zoom region. Draw an area to zoom in on. Zoom out. Zoom in. Zoom all to resize the model to the screen. Rotation controls. And return to the home position by left-clicking the center button. One useful feature of iOC 4.0 is the Eraser tool. Here's Mike to show us how it works.
In the View tool, to use the eraser, I click on the word Eraser. And if I have an area where I have some moisture or some other artifacts that I wish to remove, simply draw over the area, press Mark, and I'll press Scan to Fill to correct the area. I'll position the scanner over the area I wish to fill and press the Scan button.
As you see, Mike's additional scan automatically fills in the area where he erased in the model. Another useful feature of iOC 4.0 is Edge Trim, which enables you to clean up the edges of your model. You'll find it among the options in the View tool.
The next option is Edge Trim. Simply clicking on the Edge Trim tab allows me to mark a particular area I wish to remove from the model, usually soft tissues or other artifacts. I'll press Mark, press Apply, and the soft tissue is removed from the model. If I remove something accidentally, I can press Restore All to bring that surface back.
One of the most convenient and ergonomic features of iOC 4.0 is the wireless foot pedal control. The dual pedal control can be positioned wherever it is most comfortable for the user.
Foot pedal operation in iOC 4.0 has the right pedal defaulted for scan. Left pedal is a menu. Clicking it opens the menu. Clicking the left pedal again scrolls me through the menu. And to select something in the menu, I choose the right foot pedal.
iOC 4.0 makes it easy to take scans for providing your patients with Invisalign treatment. Trainer Mike Sabino walks us through the process.
To begin a new Invisalign scan, I'm going to choose Invisalign from the drop-down menu and case type. I have the option to scan either the lower jaw or upper jaw first. In this case, we're going to scan the lower jaw first. I'll fill in the patient details as usual and press Scan Now to begin. Now, the system tells me lower left buccal. This will be an unguided scan, which means I'm going to go to the most distal tooth in the lower left and work my way forward towards the midline. And when I'm done, I'll press the menu button to let the system know that it's done with this segment. So I'm going to the most distal tooth. I want to get a shot of the occlusal view and the buccal view together and press the scan button. Now as I move forward, I want to pay special attention to the interproximal areas, making sure that those areas are indeed captured. I'm just moving forward, basically one tooth at a time, paying extra attention to the interproximal areas. I'm going to scan just beyond the midline. And now before I proceed to the lingual side, I'm just going to take a quick look and see if there's any areas that need to be addressed. Now any large missing areas need to be filled in for Invisalign. Small areas, like you see here on the distal of the molar, are okay. So I'll take a quick look around and take an additional scan to fill that area in. Okay, once this segment looks complete, I'll press the left foot pedal and choose Next to continue to the lingual side. Open up. Now on the lingual side, I want to start with a shot of the occlusal in the most distal tooth. And as I move forward, I'm going to angle the scanner slightly. And I'm going to focus on the interproximal areas. And the teeth are basically going to move diagonally across the viewfinder. Okay, and as I get to the midline, just going to make sure that I captured the interproximal areas. Again, small little areas that are missing are okay. Anything large where I have to imagine a curve or shape, I would take an additional scan. but in this case, everything looks okay. So I'll continue by pressing the left foot pedal, choosing next from the menu by pressing the right foot pedal, and we'll scan the right side.
Mike repeats the process on the right side of the lower jaw, beginning with the most distal tooth and moving forward to the midline, paying special attention to capture the interproximals.
Now as you get towards the midline on the right-hand side, as a right-handed person, it might be more comfortable to switch to my left hand. And see the two arches come together. I'm going to take one additional scan at the midline just to fill in a small hole I see.
Mike completes his lower arch scans by taking the lingual scans of the right side.
Okay, now that I'm done with the lower arch, I'll press the left foot pedal. From the menu, I'll choose next by pressing the right foot pedal. And now we'll scan the upper arch just as we did the lower.
If you ever find yourself scanning out of sequence, don't panic. Mike shows us how simple that is to fix.
Now as I move forward, if I break sequence, and by that I mean move too far where there's no overlap between scans, you may notice that a scan will remain in the upper left-hand window with a little red border. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with that scan. It just means that I need to take an additional scan to piece that to the rest of the arch. So what I'll do is I'll look at the area that was previously scanned and registered, which is just mesial of the molars, and take a scan moving forward until that other scan is brought back into the picture. Now you see that scan was moved into the arch. I didn't waste that scan. I can just continue on.
Once the lower and upper arch scans are complete, the final scan you'll need to take is of the bite.
Now that we've completed the upper arch scans, we'll now scan the bite. So I'll press the menu button, click next, and we'll scan the bite from the left-hand side. Open, close. Now I scan the bite anywhere on the left side, showing an even amount of the upper and lower. I want to make sure that the arches come into occlusion. Open up. Everything looks good. I'll continue to the right side by pressing menu, clicking OK. Now we'll scan the right side. Open up. Close. Same process anywhere on the right-hand side. Even amount of the upper and lower. I want to see that that scan registers. Okay, now that I'm done with the right side, I'll press menu. And I'm going to enter the view tool.
Once your Invisalign scans have been processed, you'll need to review the model and fill in any missing areas using the Add Scans function.
Now that the model is full resolution, I just want to make sure that we don't see any holes that were missed during the preview scanning process. So we're going to take a look at the upper arch first. Taking a look at the interproximal areas. Again, smaller holes are okay. Larger holes where I have to imagine the shape of the anatomy, I would fill in. So the upper looks okay. Now I'll switch to the lower. And same thing, just focusing on the interproximals. Smaller holes are okay. Larger holes, I want to fill in. Now I see an area on the cuspid that I missed in the preview process of scanning. So to fill that in, I'll simply press Add Scans. And it's going to ask me which segment I'd like to add a scan. And in this case, it is the lower right. And I'll press Scan. Now it begins on the buccal side. but that scan really looked like it was from the lingual, so I used the menu to go to the next segment, which brings me to the lingual side, and I can see where that area is missing. I want to make sure I can visualize that area in the viewfinder. Press the foot pedal. I want to confirm that that area was filled in. Looks like I captured most of it, but while we're in the area, I'll take an additional scan just to make sure I grab it all. After taking the additional scan, just want to confirm that the area that was missing was filled in, now that it's in high resolution. Once we confirm that all areas of concern are dealt with, we'll press the send button, and the scan goes immediately to Invisalign.
After you submit your completed Invisalign scan, wait about 15 minutes before submitting your Invisalign order. To do so, log into your Invisalign doctor site and then select the patient for whom you are submitting the order. If this is a new patient, be sure to add the patient first before starting the prescription. To begin, click the Start Prescription button on the Patient File page. Select the treatment option desired, in this case, Invisalign Full. Then fill out the prescription form, clicking Next to proceed through the segments. The system then takes you to the PVS scan page. Your patient's scan should already be visible. If it is not, search for the name you entered on the scanner, or search for the scan order code. Select the patient's scan, then click Next. Thumbnail images of your scans are displayed in the right window. Upload any required patient photos and, if desired, X-rays. And click on the Submit button to complete your prescription.